No surprise that rejection is hard to take, specifically rejection from the opposite sex, but they're two simple words that make the fact that someone looked you up and down, your personality, the way you talk, the way you look, what you can provide, what your lifestyle is, they saw all of that and decided, not for me. I want you to stay outside my life just like you were before. Go over there, please. I'm not going to answer you. I'm not going to talk to you. It's over. Because that is a hard thing to take, and the more you think about it, the more painful it is. It's really someone saying they don't think you're valuable enough to keep you around in any capacity. That hurts. So how do you deal with it? Especially if you're a guy and it's a girl you like and you think, oh man, we might have a future together. Our chemistry is so good. We're meant to be together. What can you do? There are two words that are the most helpful in the human language, the English language, for this. And those are her loss. Her loss. She doesn't know what she's missing. She's not a perfect judge of character. We only went on one date. We only had one conversation. She doesn't know what she's missing out on. The only trouble with those two words is for this to work, they have to be true. Because if you're watching this video, if you're watching YouTube videos on self-improvement, you're not the kind of guy that easily falls into confident self-delusion. You're someone that tears yourself down probably, that even when you do something amazing, you find a way to flip it on its head so it doesn't build you confidence. You're not someone that just struts around thinking, I'm the shit, and you haven't been that way since you were a kid. You're just not one of those people that comes by that naturally, which means you need to come by it the hard way, which means you need to actually make it her loss. So if the girl is someone that goes out all the time at night, she's a party girl, and if she was with you, you could show her even better social events, even better things to go to. Well, then it truly is her loss. Now, if you're not that kind of guy, you just need to think, well, then it was just complete incompatibility, or it's her loss in the sense, oh, she parties too much. She should have hung out with me and settled down a bit and lived a healthier lifestyle. Do you see? You can think of it both ways, but in either case, you need to actually be awesome. You need to actually be the guy that could have shown her a better social life, or actually been the guy that could develop a healthy lifestyle with her and make her more self-fulfilled and make this an interesting journey together. You can't just say that because you sit inside on the weekend and play video games. That wouldn't have done anything for her. That would have just made her life worse, much worse. And in a sense, you would have worsened her friendships. You would have taken her friends away from her. Do you see? Take on the responsibility of what you, as you are now, would do for a girl, especially the girl that just rejected you. Because chances are, from her perspective, from what she knows about you, her rejection was perfectly rational. Now, recently, I just had one that I think is a rejection that it doesn't make perfect sense to me. It really is more of a small sample size where I think on the first date, I acted a little bit too needy, or I came off a bit too playerish, or maybe a mix of both. A bit what's the word? Used car salesman-ish. Something like that, I'm not totally sure. But in either way, I'm just thinking to myself, from what I know of her, she is no judge of me. Things I say, the jokes I make, from her frame of reference, which she's the kind of girl that watches reality TV, watches TikTok, is on Instagram all the time. She wouldn't get the references I would make. She wouldn't get my sarcasm. She wouldn't get really any context about who I am from that one date. It would take much longer. So if she makes her rejection now, one, maybe we're not compatible. Though the truth is she doesn't really even know that, But it's fair for her. It makes sense from her perspective to make that rejection based on her understanding of me, which is flawed, but it's her understanding. But I don't need to take it all on myself and say, she's right. She saw right through me. She sees I'm pathetic. Do you see, why would she be a good judge of that from one date? Now, this might be a bit harder to take if you feel like you just got rejected by a girl who's amazing at reading people, but what are the chances of that? I think if 1 million people watch this video, maybe 10 of them went through that. Most of the time, the person that rejected you just got a little snapshot. They don't understand you. They don't know you well. You know yourself. So make sure that when the rejection comes, you know that that person is missing out, that you know that they were giving up amazing opportunities, an amazing time with you. But if you know that that's not true, and that girl dodged a bullet because you're a mess, well then, that rejection is going to hurt, and there's not going to be any pair of words that can make you feel better. So remember, it's her loss, but make sure that's the truth. That's all.